Director of UNP has also conveyed our hope to IGB. Well, next we would like to invite Mr. Zainal Arifin from the National Development Agency, or MAPENAS, to deliver the speech.
I'd like to also welcome you in this region, in this Padang city, the western part of Sumatra. Actually, I was a bit surprised because you didn't told me that I had to give my speech. So, thanks anyway. I will not say any more word, since our purpose here is to have appraisal. So I will let you, both brother and also colleagues, brother Haryadi, later on to explore what we have to do here, what we are going to have with this university. So thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, now let's come to the next session. That is a speech from, or I think the kind of the main speech, where we would like to listen to the purpose and the mission of IDB. Now we would like to invite the representative of IDB, Brother Abdullah. The floor is fully yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like to thank your warm hospitality and welcome that you extended to the IDB mission during the stay, or our stay in Jakarta and also in Padang. Islamic Development Bank is based in Jeddah. Its commitment is to help its member countries to achieve their development goals, aspirations and strategies, so that they will be one of the advanced countries. And our aim is to help foster economic growth as well as achieve sound social development. And part of that, Indonesia is one of the active member countries and perhaps one of the founders of Islamic Development Bank. And the difference between IDB and other NDBs, multilateral development institutions, is that IDB is South organization or institution owned by Southern countries, funded by the Southern countries. So it's your institution, and we are here to help you to achieve your own national education strategy, objectives and targets. Alhamdulillah, it was a while since this proposal was submitted to IDB, and today we are here to discuss the issues and the way forward and how to reconstruct and rehabilitate the University of Padang. If I explain the objectives of the mission, the reason why we are here is to appraise this project, which is very crucial for the government of Indonesia as well as the Western Sumatra and the University of Padang. First of all, we will look at the core issues, the whole components of the project. We will start discussions related to the sector and how the university contributes to the sector strategy, targets and milestones. Then we will go and discuss the project objectives, look at the detail. We will discuss the key performance indicators that you want to achieve. Then we will look at the components of the projects. Why do we need to invest, and why are the rationale behind these components, and how are they going to help you achieving your own aspirations and targets. Then we look at the implementation side of the project, how we're going to manage the capacity of the university to handle the project, particularly the project management unit. Then we look at the viability of the project in terms of economic and financial financial return, whether it is socially and economically justified to finance this project. Then we look at all issues related to the project, and I hope today and tomorrow we'll be able to finalize this discussion. Then we will come out a sound proposal that's bankable, that can be presented to IDB management. So, alhamdulillah, we are in the middle of the finalizing the process. Everything will go back to Jeddah and Jakarta. We will review the outcome of these discussions in a meeting which will be held in Jakarta, and then we will go back to Jeddah and present to IDB management the outcome of the mission. Hopefully, if everything goes well, then we will see the decisions of the management. So, finally, I would like to reiterate that IDB is committed to help its member countries, including Indonesia, to achieve their development goals. And I would like to thank you for your nice and warm welcome. We really appreciate since we came to Jakarta and Padang. Thank you very much. I would like to hand over to my colleague whether he's willing to add anything. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Dear brothers, dear sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. I would like to express first of all my great thanks to holding and organizing this meeting with the concerned people and with the welcoming speech we just heard from our brother the rector. And I would like to say that we are here, inshallah, to make sure that everything is in place. We are here to appraise this project and to see exactly how will this project contribute to the sector strategy, how will this project solve some of the issues concerned here in the university, and how will this project help the students to gain more knowledge and to be competing with in the labor market. So, in my opinion, although reconstruction is very important, we should give emphasis always to the academic development program. In my view, this is important in ensuring that there is really a quality of learning and a quality of teaching at the university. And inshallah, at the end of this mission, we will have arrived at certain point where everything is firmed up and everything is discussed. So therefore, now we are in a good place that we can discuss everything. We can really discuss every needs. We need to ensure that the needs are very clear. We need to assess these needs and make the project addresses and covers really these needs. Thank you very much for this hosting, and thank you for everybody for welcoming us. Inshallah, we hope that we arrive, inshallah, at a very promising stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think you can have the snack in front of you, and the next session will be site visit. Then later we will come back to this room for project presentation from UNP. Thank you.
First on paper, and then later on you can check it in the real condition. So the next part we can continue.
What is the project objective and justification? So the objective of this rehabilitate, reconstruct, and upgrade the new academic status and role of UNP as a modern state university with a high degree of quality, efficiency, and accountability so that more people can have access to its education and facilities. This objective we describe into several points. The first one, as operationally, we mean the project deals with the development and improvement of learning and teaching facilities, management services, academic services, and social services. But in physically, the present project has the following proposed plan. The first of all is rehabilitate and reconstruct the damaged building because some of our building is struck by the earthquake recently. And then additionally, we will develop a new building, an upgrade of the existing building in order to achieve improvement in learning and teaching facilities, management services, academic services, and social services. The justification of this project. In the near future, Indonesian graduates are facing the tight competition with foreign graduates for getting jobs in the local market as well as international market. Moreover, they will have to anticipate the opportunity to work in overseas. So we already justify that maybe in the next future, some of the UNP graduates should be work not only in Indonesia, maybe should expand their work field area in overseas as well. Therefore, looking forward to current challenge toward the new millennium, it is necessary to address significant issues and concerns as they relate to strengthening our academic statute for domestic purpose as well as for internationalization of higher education as a part of our effort in arousing global awareness of human resources development, unlimited cross-cultural issues, multinational interaction, and science and technology advancement. So in order to make our graduates become more viable to international globalization, so we must increase the capability of our teaching and learning resource to occupy the needs of advanced technology in nowadays improvement. Besides that, improvement of the higher education with technological and professional skills is needed for economic recovery and global competitiveness. Skilled graduates are imperative to support regional as well as national growth. So at the end of the improvement, the learning and teaching facilities, we hope that we also make a multiply effect, make increasement and improvement to the average economic growth in this area. Additionally to the project justification, we also look forward for the educational justification. Educational justification means the justification based on the role of UNP or Padang State University as the educational university in West Sumatra. So State University of Padang is educationally justified to gain the project aid specifically for its sole commitment to quality education and its educational programs offered and all nationally accredited. UNP has been responsible for developing the nation's human resource in the framework of preparing the new generation for the ideal new Indonesia, because we are producing teachers to teach from elementary level until higher education level. UNP is also designed to be pusat pengembangan pendidikan guru teknik kejuruan di bagian barat Indonesia, or in English we call as Center of Education and Development of Vocational Teacher in West of Indonesia. So it's not only in West Sumatra, but we produce teacher for vocational education in West Indonesia. So it's mostly west part of Indonesia. The teacher for vocational and technological education for higher education is supplied by us as the university. function, UNP should stand firmly on a strong foundation so that it may not easily slip and remain strong in its commitment toward the strategic role of education and the development of Indonesia towards a new Indonesia characterized by prosperity, peace, cooperation, and mutual understanding. For educational justification, we also have diversification of disciplines as another characteristic of UNP in improving its contribution to the nation and the country. So we have many different disciplines in this university. This diversification requires a shared mechanism of resource in the process of disciplinary development and learning. It requires academically capable human resource supported by a superior system of institutional academic management. And diversification of superior management can strengthen the position of UNP in the development of higher education and the development of national education in the framework of preparing high-quality Indonesian human resource. So that shows how important the role of UNP to be as an educational university, and that's why we need to improve further in the improvement of the technology. Also, we have the justification according to student to area ratio, because you can see in here as the university improve, the amount of the student also increase, and most of our building is still based on the previous frame of the university. Some of the area is not enough anymore. Yeah? So we have a shortage in the area. For example, in here you can see Faculty of Technology. We only have the existing area 12,623, and we have the enrolled student for 2009 to 2010 for about 4,556. So we have the existing area per one student in meter square 22.8. Yeah. According to the ideal area per student, it's supposed to be 5 meters square per one student. So we still have averagely 2.2 lack in this area shortage in this existing area. So you can see in here the ideal area per one student is not adequate anymore for the amount of the student we have now. Additionally, we also obstructed by the earthquake. As the earthquake occurred, some of the functional classroom is already decreased from the above listed area. So we have further area shortage. That's why we very hope so much that the IDB project can restore some of the area which have been destroyed by the earthquake. That's all the justification we have made to propose in the project. Next, we will discuss about the project benefit. The main benefit with regard to the project are: the first, we hope that we have operational benefit, which include the improvement of total new student admission fee and the improvement of total student annual tuition fee. It is hoped that through the improvement of the university funded by IDB, we can improve the facility, so the income which come to the university also be increased. As a result, from this additional improvement to IDB project, we hope that the graduates we produce here, which mainly will be practiced or will be work in the educational sector, will be have more skills and experience, because the facility has become advanced. It means that the prosperity of the graduates, the salary can be increased, and automatically it will improve the economic of the region. Efforts. In detail, we will explain it in the proposal in Annex 6. This is due to some of the destroyed building. It's already funded by the government through UNP to be rebuilt and rehabilitated. So we didn't propose it anymore in the revised proposal. So we just switch some of the part that is already funded with the new one. We urgently require for the further improvement. As we can see in here on the table, the green one is the previous proposed building, and it will not be funded anymore through this project because it's already funded by the UNP. And the replacement or the change proposal is on the right hand side. As you can see in here, for rehabilitation, previously we proposed 3 buildings: Laboratory of Faculty of Mathematics and Basic Science, Faculty of Language, Literature and Art, and Faculty of Sport Science, which we have subtotal for 5,000 meters square. It's become IT center proposed in the new proposal with subtotal area 2,000 meters square. Yeah, because what of the previously proposed, the 3 building is already funded by UNP. So we proposed the IT center, which previously the old rectorate, because the old rectorate is still being able to use. We decided that we can use it for another purpose by rehabilitating the existing building. And then for reconstruction, previously we have 7 buildings proposed with subtotal 22,500 meters square. We only have a fund from UNP for building number 4 and building number 4. So we didn't propose it anymore in the new proposal. And building number 7, we also canceled the proposal because we have another urgent requirement for further improvement. So in the new proposal, we switch or we adjust the proposed building to become just 2 buildings with the total area 12,500 meters square, which consists of integrated classroom, which is more urgent, and Faculty of Social Science, which badly damaged during the earthquake. And then for upgrading, previously we have training center, business center, auditorium, and student center, and the Faculty of Sports Center for classroom. For a new proposal, we have University Center, Technological Integrated Lab, Auditorium, Student Center, Supporting Facilities for Professional Training, and Business Center, which occupy total area 22,350 meters square. We propose this building in the revised proposal because we find that it's urgently need to improve the capability of the student. Yeah, because we need to produce the teacher that can move forward to new advance in technology as a teacher in vocational. So we put the new proposed building in this area. The first one is Technological Integrated Lab, 5,500 meters square, and the supporting facilities for professional training. So the supporting facilities for professional training, it will be used for conducting the program which supported by the team to produce more professional teacher. Yeah, so we will educate teacher in this supporting facilities for professional training, or what we call in bahasa Indonesia PPG, ya, program profesional untuk guru, program pendidikan profesi guru. So that's why we think that this upgrading is much more important than the previously proposed to the ID. And for the university center, we expand the function, as we can create a university center which we put there the rectorate, administration, and community service research center, and everything which become the center for the university to one building. So people have more accessibility and easy access to the building. So we have the change from the previous proposal, which we have 44,500 meters square, becoming 36,850 meters square. Revised on the new proposal, we also revised the master plan, and this is the previous one, the old one we proposed to you. We changed it into the new one, like in this picture here, the revised master plan. So most of the new building and the reconstruct building are colored and numbered as this map. Which number one is the IT center, which rehabilitate from the damaged building of the previous rectorate, and then number two and number three, this is the reconstruction for integrated classroom and faculty of social science. Number four, which will become the university center. Number five, it's become the technological integrated lab. Number six, this will become the auditorium, and number seven, becoming supporting facilities for professional training for PPG. Number 8 is student center, and number 9 is business center. We also have created 3D models for the master plan. As we can see in here, this may be the future building will look alike. We hope it will come like this, where in the front we see here the university center, and we have the faculty of science, and we have the professional training, the laboratory, and the auditorium. This is another view. And this is the view from outside. This is the faculty of social science, the integrated classroom, The schedule has been planned. The financing process, the appraisal by IDB, which we have it now, is conducted on 14th till 17th October 2010, effective June 2011, PNU July 2011 till August 2014, Startup Workshop August 2011. The consultancy service for the EDC is supposed to be started January 2012 until May 2012. The PMSC July 2012 until December 2013. Civil Works July 2012 until December 2013. Equipment and Furniture July 2013 until June 2014. Staff Development Program August 2011 until July 2014. Project Financial Auditing each end of the project fiscal year, and PCR by PM in June until August 2014. The schedule maybe still need to be examined again whether we can conduct it in the correct schedule. So, from the presentation and the project we already proposed, we conclude that as the economic analysis has been conducted, we found that a base case IRR of the approximately 14.27% with a positive NPV of $7,103,817. On this ground, the project is deemed economically viable. Thus, the project is feasible to be implemented. The project implementation result is expected to meet its objective of rehabilitated, reconstructed, and upgraded a new academic status and role of the State University of Padang as a modern state university with a high degree of quality, efficiency, and accountability. Therefore, more people can have access to the world-class education and advanced facilities. With this project, the UNP graduates are expected to be able to compete with the international community in achieving its goals. And also, in the long run, the project benefit is hoped will create multiplying beneficial effect for the West Sumatra province, regional area, and the country. Therefore, the project of rehabilitation, reconstruction, and upgrading State University of Padang is an urgent matter to support the regional and national economic growth. That's all the presentation from the project, and we really put our hope on this project, that this project can conduct as we planned on the proposed schedule. Thank you very much for the chance. I hope that the IDB fund to our university will increase our capability in creating qualified teacher for the education in Indonesia. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
For proposal appraisal before having lunch break. So the discussion will be led by our rector, Mr. Rizal Awadi Effendi. Please.
Thank you. Do I can ask rector also? And whoever you want to ask. Please. Please. Who wants one?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much. Thank you, Brother Khan, for this excellent presentation. Overall, this project is important. No doubt that this is important and really positive impact on the strategy, high priority of the government strategy in higher education. Is also in line with our IDB 1440 vision. I just have a couple of questions which is not clear for me. I would like to ask. The first question, when we come to this civil work, okay, I would prefer that to have reconstruction, which is very clear for us. Dummy building basis is still available, so you build reconstruct on this. So it's very clear for me. Integrated classroom with a total area of 8,000 meters square. Faculty of Science Social Sciences with a total area of 4,500 meters square. Therefore, total area to be reconstructed is 12,000 meters square. Now, what I don't understand really, rehabilitation. For me, rehabilitation maybe have different meaning. When I say rehabilitation, I'm talking about painting, changing of some doors and changing of some windows, and so I just need to clarify this. Maybe it is something also included in the upgrading, in the reconstruction, and it is given in different name. So we want to clarify this point first. And it is related to the IT center. What sort of rehabilitation is involved in this is the first question. My second question is, when you talk about upgrading, for me this is a construction of new building. So these are all going to be new buildings, and this is to solve the issue of crowded facilities and the increase, if I understand it well, this is a response to solving the issue of the increasing number of students and the crowded facilities. Okay? So in this upgrading, where I call it construction of new building, I'm not sure about these supporting facilities for professional training should come under this part or not. So I either want you to clarify this point for me, or I would think maybe it is not the proper place to be under, unless I am misunderstanding something about supporting facilities, unless it means something else. This is my second question. My third question I was going to ask, but you replied. I was going to say, since the total civil work, construction and upgrading has changed, I expected this to be reflected in the cost, in the total cost to be reduced. But as you mentioned, there have been some increase due to some coefficient factor or something related to earthquake. We need to clarify this point and to make sure that, this was not taken into account at the beginning of the proposal, because we would like to make sure that after some, our costs are very realistic, so that when we start implementation we will not suffer from any cost overrun or anything related to which could delay the construction. So this point needs to be justified. And also the consultancy services related to the detailed engineering design and the project management supervising our supervising consultant. Is this figure 720,000? Is it reasonable here? This is also a point we want to look at. And I think these are just the main points. The final point is, we have proposed, and we would like to discuss this, the development program. You are proposing to send 15 lecturers for a PhD degree overseas study, including perhaps accommodation, including tuition fees and everything, for 3 years program. And we would like to discuss, because we are also suggesting why could we make it under improvement of quality assurance at the university program, and instead of this, offer some professional courses to teaching and non-teaching staff in specialized courses, and supports research project for a maximum period of 1 year. So this is a point we need also to discuss. So we will discuss, inshallah, this point. The final issue I had a feeling that I have seen this tentative implementation schedule you have proposed here. It looks fine. Would it be good for the university if we increase the implementation period instead of 4 years to be 5 years? Would this be better? Could be better. Then we could explore this, because I felt that a little bit it is tight. If this is the case, we can make it 5 years. So instead of finishing 2014, we can make it 2015. Thank you very much. I think these are the main points I would like to ask. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, President White. Of course, there is no building that only need painting after the earthquake. So I think it must be clear for us about the concept of rehabilitation. I agree with that. But we don't need that rehabilitation, just painting or clean the building. It's proper if we name it reconstruction, then rehabilitation. Okay. But the
about the project. For us to organize our thoughts and discussions, I would propose if we could structure the discussions. For one, I would like to structure based on our discussions based on the project issues and components. For example, question is raised by Brother Farouk addresses the whole project, which is very good. We need to structure it and start it point by point. For example, we need to discuss the objectives of the project.
Okay.
Are they really measurable? Objectives, one is general objectives of the project. What are we going to achieve and how the project will contribute to the education subsector strategy, i.e. higher education. Then we look at the key performance indicators. After we invest all this in the university, what this will change? What will enable this project will enable you to change? For example, number of students will be increased, number of lecturers will be increased in terms of quantity, in terms of quality also their capacity will be improved. How many lecturers will have PhD by 2018? How many lecturers will have masters by 2020? How will be the university research and development capacity, number of publications, in international journals. All these indicators must be discussed thoroughly among ourselves, and then we develop indicators that at the end of the day, at the end of the project cycle, we will say the investment that IDB has given the university has enabled to achieve this, or we were unable to achieve this indicator because of this issue. Second, we look at the components of the project. We look at the civil work, as Brother Luai said, in detail. We look at the unit price. Is it really realistic? Is it based on the market? I'm sure it's based on the market. But this really, does it accommodate the earthquake, the building? Are we going to design? Our civil engineer expert, our consultant will discuss, and if there is any point he will raise. We'll talk about also the specifications of the buildings. Are they really justified? Of course they're justified, but we have to have a write-up on this issue. Then we talk about also quality and relevance, which is very important for the project successful, and also sustainability. I would propose that we discuss, we base our discussions on this one by one, so that we know we solve this issue, then we go to the next one. Then we talk about the implementation arrangements, i.e. procurement plan. We need civil works to be national competitive bidding, international competitive bidding, the equipment, who will provide the equipment, consultants, what kind of consultants do we need, PMSC, PQC, DEDC. We'll talk about all this. And then we'll talk about the project management capacity. Do they really need support? Do you have equipment? Do they have office equipment? Do they have necessary training? Do they have procurement specialists? We'll talk about this. Then we go to monitoring and evaluation. How are we going to monitor the project? I will propose our discussions would be structured in this way, so that it will be easier for us also to follow.
Okay, if I understand what Brother Abdi proposed, that the discussion like this will not solve the problem. He wants to discuss every component of the project, and after we discuss and then we agree. So this component is solved. So the discussion like this maybe will not effective to make our objective. Do you mean that
I mean, it's of course any questions and points will give us a guidance.
Okay.
To the way forward, but to structure our discussion, we know.
Yeah, Pak Zainal. Yeah, silakan Pak Zainal.
I think if I may suggest, in addition to Brother Abdi's idea, the team. I don't think we need a rector to have a detailed discussion because you know, rector may have only in the policy. So I was wondering that the detail will be a bit missed. So I think we need to have a leader for the team who may know every detail of this proposal, and then we can discuss we can structure our discussion as Brother Abdi suggests. So, who is leadernya siapa sih Pak ini? Pak Ganefri atau Pak Wakil? Ya.
Jadi mungkin mendiskusikannya itu tidak di forum kayak gini ya, kalau lebih detail.
Bukan, tetap di forum ini, cuman sebaiknya maksud saya untuk yang memimpin diskusi detailnya ini bukan Pak Rektor itu. Nanti Bapak yang polisi aja. Kan kalau harus Bapak duduk sampai detail-detail itu nanti pertanyaannya kan detail banget Pak. Jadi sebaiknya yang untuk timnya saja, nanti yang karena harus menjelaskan detailnya, nah yang Bapak nanti bagian yang kalau ada yang kira-kira isu yang nyangkut polisi aja, tidak perlu yang detail-detailnya.
Okay, thank you, Brother Zainal and Brother Abdi and Lian. Okay, please team discuss. Siapa yang memimpin?
The south and the north wing is already collapsed, so down to earth, and it made that the main construction, the center one, is still usable. Yeah, so we can use it again as an IT center by doing some rehabilitation on the previous old rectorate building. So that's why we said that this come to rehabilitation, because we rehabilitate the existing building by removing the wing, the south and the north, so it can be used as IT center. So that's what we mean in the rehabilitation. Is it make sense if we use rehabilitation, or still we need to put it on reconstruction?
Can you say again? I want to make sure I'm clear. Can you say again?
Because we have the old building, the old building damaged by the earthquake. Maybe further explain, we can see in the visitation. You can see as well which part is being damaged and what can be rehabilitated. And for the
Excuse me, Pak, sorry. I think as they put there, the IT center is the previous rectorate, so old rectorate, which is bit damaged, and then they are going to rehabilitate it to the IT center. So in bracket is old rectorate, the IT center.
we already write down some justification of the revised plan, building plan. So we will show you here. Maybe Ms. Denny will explain furthermore.
Okay, thank you. So on the submitted proposal, we plan to reconstruction the old restaurant, but after further building assessment after the earthquake, we found that the building can be rehabilitated, but the area is reduced, so it's not proper anymore for a restaurant. So we think we can still use the building, but with reducing area, and in that building we already have central fiber optic network for the internet building after rehabilitation as a IT center.
Is the upper picture?
Sorry?
Is it the upper picture?
Yeah.
Reconstruction.
Sorry?
Reconstruction.
Reconstruction. Okay. So we will put it in reconstruction. Yeah, we will revise it again.
Yeah, even if it's changed, excuse me, even if it's changed to, I mean, you are going to prepare it in a way to become, I know what you mean. You mean that it's going to be instead of, it will be an IT center. Yeah, but at the end of it, in terms of civil wear, it is reconstruction. Something which is damaged due to earthquake and need to be reconstructed. So in order to avoid, not to get any, for clarity we can include this under reconstruction because it's in terms of civil wear, there is a reconstruction involved in this building.
Thank you, brother.
Excuse me, brother, because there is significant difference in the unit cost between the rehabilitation and reconstruction. In their proposal, they propose this as a rehabilitation, which is unit cost only around $200 US. And for reconstruction is almost the same as the new building. So we need to be sure here. Is it true that building is the building you are proposed as an IT centers? Enggak, kalau melihat gambarnya tadi apa aja itu yang mau direhab gitu loh Pak? Dengan unit cost yang ini cukup gitu. You see, the unit cost they propose for IT center is rehabilitation is only even less than half. Yeah, so if you include this as reconstruction, even is it okay as an idea, but it must be increase the price or the cost. So you can agree. Okay.
Pak Zainal, mungkin bisa jelaskan sedikit ya. Alright. Well, according to the Ministry of Public Works, if we don't demolish a building, it's named rehabilitation. And the level of rehabilitation is whether it's minor or medium or major rehabilitation. For this, we can medium, yeah, medium. Yes, with a price of 40% of the new building.
I would like to propose in this discussion that can be, if in this rehabilitation, can be named minor reconstruction, and reconstruction in this proposal means that the whole building is demolished and then reconstruct. But rehabilitation, only a small part of the building demolished, but the main structure of building is still there and rehabilitated. So if in order to avoid the bias interpretation of the reconstruction, I propose if the rehabilitation, name it with minor reconstruction and the other ones reconstruction.
Is that justified by rule or by our regulation? Ada nggak itu bahasa itu di ketentuan kita?
Jadi kalau dia tidak dibentukkan tetap namanya rehabilitasi walaupun tingkatnya berbeda.
So I'm just asking if is it the term of minor or major is applicable by rule, because if there is no such thing and then we cannot propose it. If is it reconstruct and then if both agree, why don't we just reconstruct with the risk that we have to demolish it? But if you still can, we still can rehabilitate and then we put as rehabilitation.
Excuse me, if I may say something. I think now it's clear for us because in our rehabilitation.
The other point also is that you are rehabilitating the IT center. IT center. The amount seems to me is not that significant. It's 425,000. So, what about if we give this to the government portion? If the government covers, as you have done it rehabilitation already, some of the other buildings you have rehabilitated, renovated, and the amount is not that significant compared to the reconstruction. And it's the only item I can see that is going to be rehabilitated. So it would be a good idea. I don't know whether Papinas would agree. This can be considered.
By now, I think since, as Brother Farouk says, that we have a clear idea now, then we can discuss it later on. If it's not significant to be put here, and then we can take it out. No problem. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So, if we name it reconstruction, so we have a problem with the price. So, the price will increase. Is it possible for us to delete the other building, for instance, business center that is not in the above high priority, but we reconstruct the IT center? Is it possible to do that?
Sorry, say again. Say again, sorry.
If we name the rehabilitation with reconstruction of the building, so we have the problem with the price, with the money, because rehabilitation has lower price. So if we name it reconstruction, so the price will higher. So maybe we don't enough money to do that. Yes.
For example, dropping one building or adding one building, it is the priority of the university.
I see.
For us, what we expect you is justification. Whether what you're adding is justified or what you are excluding is justified. Of course, you will analyze and prioritize the needs of the university in terms of the rehabilitation and reconstruction. But there are things that you can't cover by yourself, either through the government or by the university. Something that you might not be able to cover it, IDP can come into and say, okay, we will be able to provide. But in this case, we will discuss it further. I think the amount is not that significant, 425,000.
Yes.
Since you have done already some rehabilitations, this might be doable. I'm not sure. You are the expert, you know. But let's continue and go to the other point. We will go back to the rehabilitation later on. This is very clear now, concept-wise. We understand it clearly.
Silakan, brother.
Yes. Just I have a final point here. Coming back to proposal raised by Brother Abdi, which seems, if you don't mind later on, which seems fine because it's a small component, and maybe if we can be built by the government. I want just to also explore something in regard to this change. I mean, the part, could it be possible that IDB participate in the equipment instead of this share of this? I mean, governments bear the remaining part and make IDB contribute of some of the equipment. So it's just something we explore. Equipment is fully financed by the government. Okay? So is it possible instead of this to be taken by, say, for example, government will bear share part of the equipment? Okay?
Brothers, I think if the rule can make it that way, I think it would be better because some of the equipment is from must be in US dollars.
My second question relates to the exchange rate.
Pak, yang tadi yang
Regards to the current exchange rate you're using is 9,400. When this exchange rate was it when the document was prepared? How long ago was it?
I think the proposal we submit formally was 10,000. 10,000 rupiah per $1. Now it's 9,400, and the real market now is, I think, is around 9.
So we can keep it like that.
I think we still can keep with 9,400 because our annual budget also use an assumption of 9,400. So we will continue in this figure, reconstruction.
Yes, go to the reconstruction. The unit price for the reconstruction, does it take into account the earthquake? For example, we understand that there is a difference between when the building is designed to accommodate the earthquake and when it's not. This unit price, does it include?
Yes. And this in formula, so that's why more accommodate.
It's because the higher of the security factor, security of earthquake resistance. So the pressure of the pressure. Because the security factor maybe first is normally standard is every 7 or 8 scala Richter, but it should be make it higher than that, maybe 9 scala Richter. That's why the price is and it's recommended by the Minister of Public Works.
So this price will give extra community square for the building.
Policy from the Ministry of National Education. The graduate from other university, educational university, is still able to become a teacher by following special training. So we will have the special training for about maybe 2 years, right? Yeah, for about 2 years, and we need a separate room that is specially designed for this training. Yeah.
Sorry, Pak, to interrupt you. I think I can understand what Brother Farouk in mind, because you said supporting facilities. When we see supporting facilities mean like other facilities. So if not building, I agree there. So why don't you just make it clear what you are going to build? You know, whether like
Professional training center,
or teacher training center or something like that. Yeah, supporting facilities mean supporting facilities. So
Thank you,
if we can make it more clear, I guess. Makanya dirubah, langsung dirubah saja apa di situ, balikin ke Excelnya.
How many buildings? So is it one building or is this one building or number of buildings?
You mean number 4?
Number 4.
Number 4.
One building.
So it's going to have these sections.
Yes. Rectorate, administration, community service, research center.
And also there is a research center, research institute, community services, and bureau, and
Deputy director.
the director is there, rector is there.
So I would propose the project to be in line with the buildings. Bring forward research and development center.
Research.
bring forward. When you put last, bring it forward. Research and Development Center, comma, then Directorate Administration and Community Services. Because Research and Development Center is very important for the university. And anyone who's reading the document, first read is Research and Development.
And who knows then,
Very good weight, in the
Brother, who knows 10 years to come, this university become research university. So the research center is very important, I think.
So put Research and Development
Okay.
Center.
Research and development.
Or Research Development Center.
Tapi itu katanya letakkan di awal kan?
Research di awal kan.
Another name later. Maybe during our discussion until we decide until the implementation of the project, is it possible for us to change the name? Okay. I mean the proper name for every building. Okay.
I have one point in mind. Maybe Brother Abdi raised that. I just want to have an idea of this to keep in mind. You said according to the Ministry of National Education, the optimum area for classroom per students is 3 meters square per one student.
The ideal.
The ideal.
Yes.
I remember also I was in one of the universities and we have been evaluated. It differs from country to country, but one of the things I remember from this experience that they were evaluating the university and the committee found that the library was not sufficient for the students, because at that time the ideal area was 1 meter square per student, and there were 1,000 students. The library was about 600 meters square in area. My question is regarding the table which involves these different faculties. It looks to me that the ideal areas differ from faculty to faculty. Yeah, the ideal area, it differs from faculty to faculty. For example, ideal area for some faculties are 3 meters square, others 2. What is this based on? Are you calculating for him his portion of the laboratory facilities, portion of the teaching facilities, portion of library of the faculty, or what is this based for? If you can just I would like to have an idea. Yes. Now, I know this. I mean, what is this really based? Is it something fixed, or it has some verification? It's based on what?
Thank you, Brian. Each faculty, they have a different activity on the class or in several specific area. So that's why we make justification that some faculty that just need for area for the attendance of the student, some need for the laboratory activity, so some need for the sport activity. That's why the activity for the student must be facilitated with enough space for the student to perform the activity. That's why in Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Science, because most of them also have to perform practice in the laboratory, we put the ideal area for one student is 5 meters square. So we made it as an average area based on the activity. Yeah.
Sorry, Pak. Actually, there is a standard from Ministry of National Education. Not ideally, it's standard.
For this figure.
Yeah, for this figure. And then for classroom, I think it's all the same. 3 meters per student. That's standard from Ministry of National Education. Yeah.
This is very good point. We remember we have a number of other projects in Indonesia.
University of Samaran, Alauddin, UNJ, and there is a square meter per students in the classroom at national level, set by the Ministry of National Education. Based on this, I think we need to look at the meter square. And of course, that will have an impact on the number of meter square that we are going to build. So, one issue, pending issue, is to look at the ministry. Where are the ministry of Minister of Land?
We wait. Brother, yeah, you see that there is a standard 3 meter square per student. So I think better we use this standard, not ideal.
Ideal.
There is standard, then we put standard from Ministry of National Education.
So, put the number according to the rule by the National Minister of Education. Jadi yang misalnya, ini bahasa Padangnya Pak Wan. Jangan karena nyusunnya orang teknik, dikira teknik butuh banyak. Standar ya. Okay.
Pak, nanti kalau misalnya bisa, itu kalau yang di kolomnya itu ditaruh pakai bulat gitu loh. Jadi yang money itu standarnya sekian gitu. Kalau Bapak mau punya ide sendiri, mungkin di Padang maunya beda, ada idealnya, ada alasannya apa, silakan saja. Tapi ada standarnya dari money, di bulat di situ ya.
Because this really, I mean, just to make it very clear, because this really justifies the need for, you call it here, upgrade. We call it building of new premises.
Because for the science and technology, we don't want that. So I think we have to look at the detail. Yeah, this is not only a classroom.
No, you need the problem, it's the whole problem. They said it's an average, as I understand, they said it's an average calculation of seeing different activities and different buildings, library facility, laboratory, classroom, some other activities, and this is based on an average calculation for all of it. Average calculation.
All faculty. You mean this 3 meter represents? It's not only for classroom, it is for the whole students, library, other areas.
This is the standard share which should be assigned to a student in this faculty. If a student is studying educational sciences, then he should optimally or standard have such 3, for example, meter square to share all activities involved.
Okay. Yes.
I just want to ask another point about the electricity. You are proposing electricity installation with generator set. What about the electricity, the main electricity that the university, where does the university get its electricity? From then why do we need to have electricity installation with generator set?
Because some of the laboratory is need to be operated, whether the power supply from the electric company, government electric company, available or not. Because sometimes due to shortage of the generation, because we still have a shortage in generation in power in Indonesia, especially in West Sumatra. Sometimes when the student is performing practice in the laboratory and the power goes down and nothing can be done and the practice stop. So that's why we need the generator set to keep the laboratory running.
You mean that the electricity here, there is a possibility it is not stable? Okay. I mean, more information should be provided also with this. I mean, what sort of generator we are looking for in terms of kVA? What is this generator will operate how many?
We need 100 kVA.
to operate how many faculty, the whole main campus?
No, not the whole main campus, just some laboratory and some building.
Some laboratory and some
Yeah.
building.
Yeah.
And the other supporting sub-panel circuit distribution system,
Yeah.
electric distribution
Yeah.
system. What sort of a switchboard, or you are talking about switchboards for a new building?
Yeah, I think so. It includes
The switchboard?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a part of how to distribute the new building.
Yeah.
Distribution of electricity
Yeah.
through switchboard, sub-panels, and
Yeah.
including circuit breakers
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
other
And
protection
that's the
devices.
transferring switch as well, because we need that.
And you USB? What did you say?
Circuit. Transfer switch.
Okay.
Transferring switch. I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. So when the power goes down and automatically several building and several laboratory still on power.
This is in relation to the generation?
Yeah.
Generator?
Generator set. Yeah.
Okay.
You propose integrated classroom. Can you explain a bit more about this? What do you mean integrated classroom?
Okay, maybe for the integrated classroom will be explained by Ms. Denny.
Thank you. So in our university, there are some course that managed by the university. It's called MKDU, Mata Kuliah Dasar Umum, and it's carried out in an integrated classroom. So the student from all faculty will study together in that classroom. It's not per faculty, but for university level integrated classroom.
Some additional this integrated class is designation that the all students who take the program in this university, they have a compulsory subject. Yeah, they have a compulsory subject. We call that the general subject. Some like religion, Islam, they should study Islam if they enter this institution. Get the concept. The second is Pancasila. The five principle of Indonesian government philosophy. That is what else?
Entrepreneurship.
They have all 15 credit semester. Yes, all students should take.
Sebetulnya itu lokal bersama. Nah, ya Pak Dena ya, itu lokal bersama. Yes, I think as Pak Rector mentioned, it's not only for that purpose, but basically this integrated classroom can be used for all students, faculty. All faculty.
So, okay, can be used by all faculties.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this, when we talk about this construction of this, it just means that construction of this and distribution of electricity to this new premises, including all other supported equipment.
I say yes, but and besides the electricity need for the vital unit, like our web server must be on 24 hours a day, so the electricity must go. You know, brother, here in Padang, sometimes the electricity like we eat medicine of 3 times a day.
We have something, same problem to that.
That's why we need generator.
Okay, I think we go to next component, development program.
We can go to the furniture will be covered by Boya.
Furniture and equipment will be covered by
You have allocated budget for that. things set.
Yeah. No, not yet. Since it will be start on next year. Yeah, after construction. So at least already in our
In market budget.
Yes.
The reason why I'm asking this is that
Yes.
one of the questions that will be raised by IDB is that are you sure that the budget was allocated for this? Because the success of the construction will depend, of course, will depend on the equipment and the furniture. If there is no proper equipment and furniture,
Yeah.
the students will not have anywhere to sit.
Just for your information, brother. Last week I met also with some of the team and brother Padang from Minister of National Education. He also explained that central government already provides some budget for equipment which was damaged by the earthquake. But in this proposal, we mentioned that the equipment is for the new building, which is integrated lab. So that's why our brother from only a bit reluctant to provide, but they will select the real needs of the new laboratory. So I think for the previous equipment, the damage is already take up on money. But for this proposed project, it seems that they are going to propose the other equipment, which is latest version or something like that. Yeah, but Madam also mentioned that government will provide. If the amount is affordable, then they will also contribution from the university. Some contribution because the university also earn their own budget. So I think it will be more profitable for them.
Can we the development program? Yeah, you are proposing that under this program, 15 master degree holders will have the opportunity to study PhD. Yes. In terms of quality improvement, you are proposing that this program will involve 15 students, 15 master degree students to have an opportunity to study PhD overseas. And I would like to propose something, if you don't mind, to be discussed. Now, for me, quality improvement, this could be part of the quality improvement. That's what we have a different picture we would like to discuss. For me, quality improvement is important to take into account the following. First of all, enhancement, or let's say updating of the syllabus, curriculum, to ensure that these curriculums, I'm not sure with how many years, but as a normal policy, the curriculum should be reviewed from time to time to be in line with the much more responding to the demand, to the labor market needs and requirement. So we should have something on development, curriculum development, updating for certain faculties to make some, since we are talking about quality, for updating curriculum to more respond to the labor market, revise and update of curriculum. We should also have some training courses specialized for teaching and non-teaching staff. Teaching and non-teaching staff, maybe teaching staffs need some specialized courses on, for example, outcome-based education approach in delivering courses, how to manage small and larger groups. See, teaching a large number of people, students, is not the same as some people cannot manage teaching large students. I remember that one of the selection of some part of an interview which was done a long time for me was to make me exposed to large number of students and see how the lecturer can manage. You see, these students, also interactive teaching. How can the lecturer make sure that this is methods and techniques? Some consultancy firms can provide such training. How we use new teaching methods Are we still using here, teacher, are you still using, say, the blackboard or chalk, still be using here, or using, or talking about the whiteboard with this, are we using overhead projectors for teaching? Are we making use of this ICT new technology to new use? Is there any thinking of, for example, providing some digital PD file for the syllabus to be online, they can access students easily, some sort of thing. I mean, students can have the syllabus, or lecturer can have the syllabus. I remember one of the equipment I come across was an equipment working with the technology of microwave, where a lecturer can put in the whiteboard, and instead of writing, it automatically converts what he writes into a PDF format, so it can be then downloaded in the internet and shared by students. We have to have some use of ICT applications in teaching, either training courses, and how would these people use some specialized tools and multimedia tools for delivering courses. Very important also. And also quality assurance in terms of how would we ensure that the university will get high standard accreditation. We would like to see, develop a piloting program in quality assurance to ensure that this program will take 2, 3, 4 years, and for achieving quality assurance and get this accreditation, the university, the faculty, for example, must have 10 PhD holders, 5 master degree holders, which are lecturers, 3 teaching assistants. So we look at, we're not having this. Let us now develop a program so that we can achieve this standard, so that we can get standardization, link with other universities, well-known international universities, all this evaluation process, and this is what I mean. In addition to this, provide faculties, in addition to the main library, acquiring them, how we can think of providing faculties with a specialized textbook. Maybe some faculties need more textbooks. Maybe the libraries are not textbooks are not available for the whole subjects. Maybe we need to provide them with, in addition to this, to the individual faculties should be provided individual textbooks, and maybe subscribe fees for specialized journal. Can a faculty make some subscription with a specialized journal, for example, also can improve the quality. So not just to restrict ourselves in a PhD degree for you are qualifying 15 to a PhD degree, and when there are a number of teaching staff which are now within these 3 years are involved with the students. Before the people who are going for PhD comes back, there are some teaching. Why don't we build the capacity of this teacher and also non-teaching staff? Need probably some administrative courses, some qualifying courses, this sort of thing. So in this case, we can say this is a development, improvement of quality component, which have a certain number of subcomponents. So we cannot just look at PhD in terms of qualifying people for this. Why are we not sending, say, for example, undergraduate for master degree, or support some research projects for a duration of 1 year? Some research project maybe people need to improve and enhance the research system. Some sort of things I'm suggesting. So we would like to make some discussion on this point, if you don't mind.
Should we put this quality improvement in this project, or, I mean, what are you talking about is, of course, the purpose of this university. For instance, updating the curriculum. We know here there are two curriculum. We go structural curriculum, it's need for administration, academic administration. So, and then we go actual curriculum. The experience that our students should have for every subject matter to get competency that we need for every subject matter. This kind of curriculum can be changed every moment. It depends on the lecturer. But the structure of curriculum don't change anytime because it's needed for academic administration. Because you know, our academic administration is online now, online. So the student take subject matter in the semester, they can do it in any internet, in any internet station or in their house. And of course, every lecturer, especially new lecturer, before they go to the school, they have to follow what we call applied approach. In this program, this new lecturer check some subjects in teaching, in psychology, and in media of instruction, or how to make syllabus and so on. But you know, what you told me what you told me is very, very important, but should we put it in our project and IDB?
I really mean that if you just quickly look at the budget allocated for this component for PhD, 15 PhD students, 15 PhD, let us say, to have the opportunity for overseas study, with a total cost of 100,000 US dollar for each, 1.5 million. Yeah. So I'm thinking that dedicating 1.5 million for just 15, you can make a lot for quality improvement with this budget. This is my thinking. I mean, you can make a lot in terms. Now we are concentrating on just 15 PhD, let us say, and there is some risk factor here involved. I'm an academician, I know about this so much. We should also pay attention to building the capacity of the teaching staff inside. Some people will be still here. You have this specialized center for training, for teacher training. I'm sure that we need to build some capacity of these specialized training courses, which could be determined by yourself. I'm sure that we could benefit other teaching and non-teaching staff. This is a training needs assessment. Will identify what sort of training they are, so they can have a comprehensive part of training involved for certain number of teaching and non-teaching staff selected and nominated from different several faculties, in addition to the teacher training center. So this will make a big difference on delivering and improving the quality of learning and teaching. What I mean by the curriculum, you are right. Curriculum should not be, there are some basic things which does not change. Structured curriculum will not change. But for example, sometimes, as I experience this in electrical and electronic engineering, we have been teaching for about 9 years. And some courses I was teaching, let us take an example for digital design. We make some, I will not expect, I cannot be teaching the same digital design I used to teach in 2000. I cannot teach the same in 2000, the syllabus is not the same. It has been completed. Why? To be updated with the change and technology. Some basics have to be in place. You see, you cannot teach basic logic, yes, you cannot escape teaching, but there are some technologies you have to, the new technologies of design have to be incorporated. Now people are using, say for example, this sort of thing I need. That's why I said to be revised. And committee will revise it, will be selected from the university and maybe with some external consultants involved, revise the curriculum, develop the curriculum in line with the labor market, what are the needs of the market, what are the needs of talent, of West Sumatra, what are statistics of people. We don't have we don't have statistics of number of graduates in terms of employment opportunities. Can we have something like, among X of graduates from Padang University last year, why are being given a job? In what sector? This is very important for us, so we can then monitor how the intervention will change this, how we will have more people accepted, or later on more salary increase or extra value. So what I mean is, basics will remain the same, but we need to update the syllabus. Update and revise. Some people, for example, some universities have policies that every 5 years this has to be done. Committee is selected, external consultants are there, procured, some revision, update of the syllabus to be in line. This updated version now takes place. Some sort of thing I am just thinking of. So this is my point. I mean, instead of taking 1.5 million as whole for PhD, to send people in PhD, it will be much more for us impactful if we can subdivide this into a number of components, which will have some curriculum updating, upgrading, teaching and non-teaching staff, specialized training courses, improving quality assurance, supporting research. If we say support research projects, then we can have 1 year support of a research project instead of this. So this is my point.
Let me ask you another point. We don't want to impose things on you. This is your own university. You know what you're doing. We need you to justify. If you want to send PhD students, you have the right to do so. You know why you want to send it. There is a reason behind it. We need a justification and we need a result. At the end of that, students that are graduating from the overseas university, what will they contribute to the university? How will you retain them? There will be a retention risk. How are you going to retain them? Will you be able to keep them in the university and become lecturers in the long run? That is one. The second one is that what are you going to do the curriculum development? We need a proposal, we need a terms of reference indicating what sort of curriculum development are you going to do. We don't want to lecture you because you're doing this work for a long period of time. You are more expert than us when it comes to teaching all these things. We need to understand from you, from your prospects. This is your project. It's you who will implement it. Okay? So things that has to be based on facts and figures. Based on that, we need a justification in every component. For example, quality improvement. What sort of activity you want to do? That's simplified. If you want to send overseas scholarship, overseas training, why do you want to do it? What do you want to gain from it? Can you explain to us?
Some explanation is like that, brother. In 2012, all our staff have get their master degree. 2012. So we need more doctors. Foreign experience is very important for our lecturer. Of course, we need the experience from university in Indonesia, but we need the experience from the university abroad. That's our main reason to send not all, maybe 15, because after 2011, we focus on our doctoral degree for our staff, because almost of them has been master degree, and we hope, because to send staff abroad very expensive. It's very expensive if we pay with rupiah. So this the one from IDB is very, very valuable for us to send them, not much, only 15 of our doctoral degree. Some people say that there are many differences between university in our country compared with the university abroad. Maybe in experience, resources of learning, books, or whatever. So we need their experience in it.
Sorry.
Maybe I would like to
Pertanyaannya, apa yang Bapak ceritakan dan mungkin akan dijelaskan itu sudahkah ada di dalam paper? Sudah. Nah, kalau itu belum, I'm asking if they have already put their idea into paper. And then maybe later on we can ask them to put it what the mentioned, what the program, what the curriculum, what the staff development, which is if they can be included here, not only that 1.5 million US dollar. I think it seems that we have some 400,000 US dollar, which could be included in the staff development if they have a program for construction. If they have a program.
Yes, we like to structure it as follows. One, for improving quality of the university. As explained by Brother White, there are other ingredients that we want to see in the quality. One of them is the curriculum development. It's very important. You want to reform the university and make it more modern university, world-class university, then of course the curriculum has to be revised. So we need a terms of reference for that. What you're going to do, how you're going to do it. How are you going to revise? How long time will it take? What cost? Who will carry out? This is very important. The training, we don't want to see only for overseas training. We would like to see local trainings. Of course, the lecturers who are also doing the lecturing will need refreshment courses. Of course, they need to refresh their knowledge and their skills to be adaptable to the new environment. Therefore, they have to be trained. So local training either covered by going or Ministry of National Education or the university. For instance, if I give you an example, University of Jakarta, we are supporting to revise the curriculum, develop new curriculum, and the consultant who will carry out this work, i.e. revising the curriculum, will be an international consultant that have local affiliations. To give them an expert, international knowledge transfer from other Western countries to Indonesia. At the same time also to have a local connection, someone who specializes in Indonesian education system and help the university to revise the curriculum. And in addition to that, we are also giving local training. The government is sponsoring to provide local trainings, about 200 lecturers to have refreshment courses, trainings, professional certificates. This is very important. This can be done locally. So you need to think about this. With regard to the other programs also, they are having within like UNJ, not UNJ, UNPAD, University of Pajajaran. They're thinking about exchange programs, partnership with other universities. This you need to include it. This perhaps IDB might not be able to cover, but the government, Ministry of National Education might have a program for this, and this has to be included in the project. We would like to have this, in the quality improvement, because if we talk about quality, it's not only curriculum and training, overseas training. There are other elements that are crucial for the achievement of the quality improvement of the university. We need to have all this indicated. We can share the cost. For example, IDB can finance training or curriculum development. The other parts has to be financed by the government. It has to come from the government portion. But program must be included, this kind of programs must appear to achieve comprehensive quality improvement. Only for six students or 7 students, while the other lecturers will not be able to have training. So we need to refresh their also experience. And I'm sure Mone, Minister of National Education, has a program for this training lecturers, updating their experience and knowledge skills. This we need to be included in the program. At the same time also, overseas training alone will not help you to achieve the kind of objectives you want to achieve, but also you need to have exchange programs. And I have been told that already USAID, they have a program through the Ministry of National Education, providing exchange programs, partnership with other international universities. This can be captured. Even the university might contribute something, because for us to make sure this project is honored by the university, there must be a contribution from the university as well. You know, this aid effectiveness and development effectiveness focuses one key element, which is ownership. And one way to ensure this ownership is to make the beneficiary themselves on board. I used to participate in the soft component, adding money, adding labor, adding some sort of value in the project. So this part can be covered by the investor. So we would like to have this information before we leave, inshallah, in a written format, if possible.
I think my brother Juan was saying that improvement of student tuition fees. There was something like this as the benefits or something. If you come back to a slide on benefits, one of the benefits was just improvement of student fees. Does this mean reduce the cost of tuition fees, or what does it mean? No, I just want to link really one of the higher education constraints is the disparity, economical and regional disparity. Okay, so I would like to see there are this is statistically clear that most of the people that enter higher education are from the low quantile. Correct me if I'm wrong. So which means that, are from the high quantile. But the low quantile level people do not have opportunities to get higher education. So is there any improvement of the total new student admission fees? This means increase in tuition fees?
No, I don't think so. The meaning is because our university is become improved in provide their graduate with advanced technology. It means that most of the higher education graduate students will choose us as the place to learn. So that means that more students will be invited here. It means that more students will study and learning here, and we get more income from that.
This is different.
Very different.
Yeah.
That's what we mean here.
I just got improvement of student.
No.
In line with Mr. Ruwai's comment, what is the quota, for example? Equity is a big issue, as he mentioned, in Indonesia and education, particularly higher education. So what are the university plans to enroll more students from the disadvantaged families? Have you done any studies? How many students are from disadvantaged families? What are their percentage? And for example, in the future, how many students in terms of percentage will come from the family, poor families?
Of course, yes. The last 2 years, we have given 3,600 students scholarship. It's last year. And this year, it increased by 500, what we call BC program. Not only scholarship, but these students, the 500 students, free tuition fee costs 600,000 a month. So it's the number of students that we are given scholarship is about 10 to 12%.
Excuse me, Mr. Director, this is a very important information. Why is it not reflected in the document? Because this links to poverty. We would like to see how is this contributing to yes, to poor
and there is our ministerial regulation, our law. In the next future, we have to prepare scholarship for 20% of students from the poor family. 20%. And now we have, yes, from poor students. And now we have 10 to 12%.
Jadi dibuat ditambahkan aja Pak.
Yeah.
Tambahkan dokumen Pak.
The tuition fee of this university is the lowest around Indonesia. The lowest. Only 600,000 per semester. Plus practicum fee for the science 300,000.
On what about the average?
School fee.
The average
Compared with the average in other area, I mean 600,000. Yes, this is the lowest. I understand clear in comparison with, for example, what is the average of tuition fees per student in
Princeton.
Sorry?
Indonesia.
Oh, Andalas more than $1 million.
The average.
Yes, the average. Maybe that's why I think so many students want to come here in this university because the tuition fee is very cheap.
Is it subsidized the university? The university was it subsidized by the government?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Except a salary, of course, the government pay for it. And maintenance of the building.
So now you say the fees are very low. Of course, it has implications for both sides. The positive side is that it's good for the disadvantaged families, children,
Yes.
to access university, improve access of the low income families
Yes.
to have access to university. This is very good. On the other hand, it has implications
The quality.
the quality and also covering
Yes.
the operation cost
That's
of the
right.
university. So how do you strike a balance between accommodating disadvantaged students as well as also maintaining the high level of quality of the university if the tuition fee is a bit low?
Manage the university well, motivate the lecturer to do their job well. That's the key success, I think.
Pray to God.
And now we have 6 physical development here in the campus. Only 1 funded by government, and 5 of them we funded by our some money. You can see the most we built by our money. So I think the key success is manage the money well. So we must calculate the money that we have and spend it carefully.
Okay, let's go to the next point, which is this point. If I elaborate, so that we know the outcome at this point. You would like to have terms of reference of the training, overseas training.
Yeah.
How many students? Previously, you proposed 7 students. Now you are proposing 15 students. Why do you increase the number? We need a write-up.
The number of our lecturers spent to
For overseas training.
overseas training.
You previously proposed 7. Am I correct?
Yes.
Now we are proposing 15. So we would like for us, our proposal was that 7 students would be trained in overseas, mainly PhD, and the rest of the money will be allocated for curriculum development.
Okay.
If you have other plans for accommodating the curriculum development, please explain. We need a write-up for that. Terms of reference for the curriculum development and the training. Preferably, it has to be 7 persons. Because the amount we allocated for this is 1.5 million. So if we divide it to 2, half for the overseas training and half for the curriculum development. Then on top of that, we need a contribution from either the university or from the government of Indonesia, covering the local training, partnership with other universities, international universities, and exchange programs. This, we need a write-up on this before we leave inshallah.
Okay.
It's clear now?
Yes.
Maybe I want to add for justification. Yeah.
Tulisannya yang mau dimasukkan.
Mau nambahkan sedikit justifikasi kenapa berubah gitu, Pak. Kan
Dia kamu minta aja, masukkan aja yang itu. Tidak usah. Ya. tomorrow there'll be a site visit and maybe wrap up like Brother Abdi taught me. So thank you very much for everything that you give to this university. Your ideas, your hard work is very valuable for us. And maybe it's time for us to close our meeting for Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. This meeting closed.
He sees Alhamdulillah face.
Yes. Baik, masih pertama sudah buka. It's about 5 blocks.
5 blocks. 5 blocks. This one is.
This one. We call it. No, it's big. Center for Professional supporting facilities for professional training.
We still change the name. We say
Yes, of course. All new building. So there are 4 and 5 with our mosque. 5 with our mosque, you know. The front of the road.
Number 7. This, do you have a land where you can construct a new building? An empty land?
Empty land?
Or
Here?
is this the only space the university have?
Yes.
Because the reason why I'm raising this question, these buildings can be used for other purposes.
Let's say I can buy new land. Are you going to give the loan? I can.
No, we
No.
cannot. That's
Okay.
the part of the government.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Because the reason is, if we buy the land for you...
No,
let
I
me
buy the
explain.
land.
That we buy the land for you, we constructed the buildings for you. The project will not be owned by the university. The ownership side is missing.
Why if I buy
So
the
the
land?
reason why I'm saying is that this building seems a pretty
Good.
okay.
Yes. Even it's old building.
Even it's old building, but it can be used. You know where I studied in SOAS? The building was built in 1930.
Yes.
1930. Why don't you use this one as an emergency?
Well, we repair this.
Because yes.
Maybe that's if the chairs
Auditorium of 5,000 meters square.
And it's for car parking.
So we are talking about this.
So behind this.
But this is not 5,000 car parking. For parking.
Oh, ini parking.
Iya, kita sekarang udah.
So this is going to be
When you say here, you say instead of this, or you say even here. Close the road?
Ya, bundarannya jalan di depan.
Ya, ini yang menjadi kelas sama kelasnya.
Your building will use all the area. I mean the integrated class.
So what are you going to do with these trees? They stay or they go?
Make
The total area? The buildings is not 1 meter square and more than 1,500. That's 2,000. Yeah, but
mana baru alatnya apa ni? Tak ada dah. Dekor. All campus was connected by fiber optic and also by hotspot.
they're online now.
Yes.
The rest technology is it's not only for physical technology. Other ingredients, know-how, research and development. America spends research and development in the US.
Okay.
This one provided by the World Bank.
Yeah, Bunny? Yes. This, all this faculty was built by the World Bank in 30 years ago. The building.
77.
77. 77.
The area in front of the Senate room.
Iya. Sampai tadi ya.
Electronic lab.
Why?
Ya.
Data transformation.
Transformation.
To make it. This is what?
Basic lab.
Basic.
So what we try to do is after they learn in here, they know the basic or everything.
This
and
is all working, okay.
okay.
No, nothing is ordered here.
Out of order?
No, we are not ordering here any equipment.
No,
For the basic laboratory.
we didn't ordering anything.
But you have some basic electronic kits.
Oh, this is not for this one.
Also
for electronic. Another department. Another.
You provide vocational education?
Yes, yeah. Here in Mexico.
Yeah. Up to what level?
Yes.
University is not only for integrated. They say we provide students will graduate here and will be employed right now.
Yes.
Diploma, certificate.
We tried here.
This you classify S1, S2, S3.
Yeah. Report to you. I don't know whether it answer your question, but I will give you.
Very good.
I give you.
Vocational education directory communication is using elektronika aja. Kok bisa elektronika aja? Apa jangan sajikan blok elektro.
Bukan laser cutting.
Study program. Study program.
part of it. So are you classifying the existing equipment and the new equipment? What you will take?
Involved in our, I think these are not involved in the new equipment.
You are not providing
No,
this
no,
for
no,
the
no.
mechanical.
This is okay, workshop basic. We are providing mainly for the integrated new building lab they are going to build.
With the new kind of
We can see a new integrated laboratory with supporting equipment. No.
What is it? But you are still going to
Equipment.
Definitely needs to be upgraded. I said to him, it's even more important than building. But the director will get sad if I say this. No, it's really, the laboratory needs to be upgraded. Because we are now at the end of picturing, I can see there is a very high need of construction, of upgrading of laboratories. These laboratories I've seen, some of them are old. I noticed that there are no educational kits. Because normally when you are giving any vocational training or even undergraduate programs or even postgraduate programs, you cannot fully rely on discrete components and build your own circuits. You need this part in addition to some ready educational kits. For example, in telecommunication you need amplitude modulation kit, frequency modulation kit, radio receiver, radio transmitter and so on. Electrical engineering, you might need some RC circuits available, low pass, high pass, band pass filters available. In digital design you might need some digital logic kits, counters available. Because this saves time, students will know how much they will do. It will also be under the supervision of the technician, and it will be also maintained from damages by their supervision. So educational kits are very important, not all. So this one verifies to me that because of some of the equipment that are going to be procured or supplied, have indeed educational kits in relation to control, in relation to electronic telecommunication, which are all going to be provided to the integrated laboratory. Now we have seen the place for the electronic laboratory, and most of these equipment, if not all, are going to be placed in the new lab. So this really, I will re-emphasize on making sure that the construction is going well as per the implementation plan, and that the equipment reach at the time where the construction is about to finish. Not to keep the equipment just because it's going to be placed in the electronic integrated laboratory. Secondly, I noticed that the laboratories have not enough cooling. And very important in electronic laboratories, electrical machines, renewable energy or mechanical equipment, to have some certain special temperature, and it has to be well cooled. Something like the room we are sitting now in, at least we should ensure that the new electronic integrated laboratory have sufficient cooling for safe preservation of the equipment. This is the second thing. Third thing, I really, to be honest, if I read the feasibility study, I will expect that we see very heavily damaged building. But it is not very visible for me that the building, okay, for upgrading purposes, it is clear that we need new for upgrading. For reconstruction, we are basing our reconstruction on a justification based on and some of the buildings that there are so many in the concept level building damage due to earthquake. But this was not very clear. We can see, yes, maybe this is because some intervention has been, some other parties were involved in making permanent construction to solve the problem, and we really want to just make it clear that the buildings that are really suffer from the earthquake in terms of structure-wise, which are going to be reconstructed, to be very clear for us and to be very well reflected in the feasibility study. So these are my major comments. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the organization and the site visit. It was very useful. We have discussed it yesterday, the project objectives, the project components. We look at everything in detail. We agreed almost everything, the civil work, the other soft part of the project, skill development. We said civil works, IDB will not cover the habitation. IDB will cover the construction. That we discussed it in terms of cost allocations and specifications of the buildings. We have reached a common understanding on that part. The other issue we discussed was the equipment. We agreed that IDB will provide part of the equipment, mainly the integrated laboratory, the new laboratory that will be built by IDB. We allocated the budget. We have also discussed the skill development, which will be covered, and the curriculum development, which will be covered by the government of Indonesia through the Ministry of National Education. We look at also the BMU. We agreed that BMU, the project manager, the admin, and the finance officer will be financed by the government of Indonesia through the university. The selection process, however, will be informed to IDB. IDB will give you non-objection for the selection of the candidates that will be the BMU project manager, finance officer, and the secretary. We want to make sure that I'm sure that you are proposing qualified people, but for our audit reason and for our internal procedures, we need to check everything in terms of procedural to know people that have been proposed for the BMU expert, BMU staff are qualified. Normally that's what you have done also internally. So to satisfy ourselves, we need to have evidence. These people are qualified and have the necessary experience. And I'm sure your team have an experience in the construction and procurement. We have also agreed IDB will support you by providing technical expert, who is a construction manager, as well as also a procurement expert, will help you preparing bidding process, bidding documents, and also request for proposals, RFPs, and requalification documents. That procurement expert will work with you for at least 12 months, while the civil engineer will work with you 1 year and 6 months. That we discussed it. On top of that, we also agreed IDB will provide some equipment for the BMU. The BMU to be well equipped and fully fledged so that they will be able to carry out their duty effectively. That we agreed. We have also agreed the duration of the project to be 5 years, starting from the signature date of the project financing agreement. We have agreed the project timetable, schedule. We designed it together, which was very useful.
you have also given to us milestones and key performance indicators that at the end of the project, the university will achieve. This is very useful. However, we are still expecting some information. Today, we carry out sightseeing, which we have seen. Some of the information is that you are providing the document, like, for example, the effects of the earthquake. Even though, as my colleague said, our expectations was that some people completely destroyed, because when you hear earthquake, you just draw a picture.
And evaluation given by Brother Abdi and Farooq has been listened by the team, and I hope all that two brothers presented has been written in your papers. But one thing that I want to explain first, maybe the last questions about the environment. Brother Abdi, how about the tree that we are going to cut when we build new building? When I was in the area, I told Brother Abdi that of course we will replace any tree that we cut. Maybe it can be easily understood that it is not difficult for us here in Indonesia, or maybe in West Sumatra, maybe in Jakarta it's difficult to find a big tree or to replace the tree that we cut when we build a building. And I think we can do that. You can see Jakarta, the big tree brought to the front of the hotel, the big tree, and then in 1 year or 2 years, the tree is come good again. And of course we have environmental study that now is in the process. The effect of environment effect of this project, and I hope in maybe they said we need 75 days to get the result of environmental evaluation, but they have given a letter that the process is going on. And then about the building that is still good. Maybe I'll say that the building that we have now, all of them are one-story building. Since our student rise and our area is limited, it is impossible for us to have only one building. So, for instance, our neighbors university has 100 hectares. We only here 33 hectares. So, by building 4-story building, I think it is about mathematical analysis. It's the same as that we have had 100 hectares. If we change or we replace the one-story building that we have had now with 4-story building. So, frankly speaking, and I hope it can be accepted that we have to demolish the building where we are going to build, for instance, auditorium, to build integrated technical lab, and also that I think are the 3 buildings that we are going to, and teachers training center. Okay. If it's possible. But we will not demolish the building that are not influenced by new buildings. But I have information that IDB, I hope I am mistaken, but IDB doesn't want an old building that can influence the beauty of the buildings that built by IDB. That's the information I had. So we have to demolish the old building. If I'm mistaken, I think we can promise that the old building that still can be used will not demolish when it is not affected by the new buildings.
Your Excellency, commented on. I'm just coming to the point where President Abdi, my colleague, has just raised and you have commented on. Well, in my opinion, I will not see it the way that IDB would not like a building he was interviewing on to be. This is not the issue. We are talking about technical side. For me, if a building structure is okay, from the structure point of view, civil engineer point of view, building construction, and can be maintained, I will see no harm that we keep this building maintained. There is no need to demolish this building. But there are some clear buildings which we can see, the one which have some incline in the beam due to earthquake. Yeah, maybe civil engineer sees that this building we have seen, which is going to be replaced by 38 integrated classroom. Maybe this is, yes, really viable that we need to, because this one will not last, it's not operating now. There are dangers that can fall anytime. Okay, this might be verifiable that we need to replace it. And some has cracks which are going to be integrated laboratory. We still have buildings which are going to be very good, but there are some buildings which I don't think it has to be. I am not a very civil engineer technical, but I can see that it can be maintained. If it can be maintained, I would suggest not to demolish.
For instance, brother, the building that we have here now, this building will be auditorium. Is it okay if this building is still there, if we have auditorium?
Mr. Rector, the issue is not about to construct new buildings. You know the demand of the university. You know the needs of the university students. Of course, there is a need for having new buildings. But also we need to think about how we can maximize by using the existing facility while we are trying also to construct new buildings. Means, if we are going to build new buildings, I agree with you, this is not this is one history building. If you are going to construct 2, 3, 4 building, of course the capacity will be much bigger than this room. That would be one justification. But if you can maintain the building and construct the new building somewhere else, you have 3 histories, which are 3-floor buildings, which can take more people. At the same time, also you have the existing building, which you can use for other purposes. We are not questioning the wisdom which says there is a need of new buildings. Okay, we fully agree with you, and we are on board that the university needs to have a new building because of the needs and demand.
Yes.
But at the same time also, we have to try to take advantage of the existing facility as well, whether we can use it or whether we cannot use it. I agree with you, some of the buildings will not be able to use it. This building, if it's damaged, you can justify and say this is small building, has a space which we can construct 2 floors. Let's destroy it. You can weigh the benefit of destroying and also its existence. But I would propose other buildings where you can have a space to construct a new buildings you can maintain. And now we can agree which one you're going to maintain and which one that you're going to destroy, so that this will be reflected in our report.
Yes.
We can go through and see which ones we need to be
different with what we talk in here, but I have information from the technical team that there is a miscalculation of the previous table about the civil work cost breakdown. Maybe we can view it here. 4,574,868 US dollars. It's supposed to be 5,106,383 US dollars. It's coming from the miscalculation from the there are miscalculation for infrastructure, 1,329,468 US dollars. But the total amount is not changed. Yeah.
Some organization from ITB and USID and from Japan came here after earthquake, and they saw the real condition of the building after the earthquake. And now we can see after the we maintain it. But almost all of them said that the structure is okay, the structure, except for some buildings that we have seen in when brother they said that this building must be demolished. Of course, the structure of the building here, they say that it's okay. Yes.
This is what we want.
Yes. Okay. But I agree with Brother Abdi. We get new buildings to rise our capacity to have or to accommodate the rising of students. In 2020, we predict that our student will be 45,000. So, of course, it's not enough for us if only we have the building that exists now. So, by building 4 storage building, I think we calculate that this problem can be solved. And besides, and I have told Brother Abdi that this university wants to be maybe high-ranking university, maybe not in the world, but national ranking university. So we should have good buildings, good campus with clean and beauty. So and also it's not the buildings like randomly built, not organized very well. So it's one of our reason to have the building that we propose to IDB. That's why some of the building that even though it's still good, but the price is not proper here there, so we demolish it. That's the idea, brother.
So now you want to demolish?
Some of them.
Okay, let's see the one you are going to demolish.
Okay. If we build those buildings in those places, so we have to demolish the existing building. For instance, integrated technical lab. If we build there, we have to demolish the building there. Brother Marok suggests that if we have another area, we can move the building to another area. That's correct.
Say again. What's it?
If we have another place to move the integrated technical lab.
This one, the one which was supposed to be
Yes,
here.
yes.
Yes, I mean, provided that this one is okay as per the report of the consultant, which said the structure is okay. If this is, did they say it's okay?
Yes.
If this is okay, then we can look for another area to accommodate the integrated lab.
Yeah.
And we leave this suggestion for you.
Yeah.
So please suggest for us Where? For example, the sport field. Would it be possible, or maybe you are thinking of somewhere else?
Yeah. Misalnya katanya, we place it in the soccer field. So, what will be it like?
Here, in the demolition of this building, we are constructing 4 new buildings.
Yes.
One is business center. We have seen it. Business center.
It's okay. Business
I
center.
don't have any problem. You can demolish that.
Yes.
The teacher education, teacher center, development. Where is the teacher center?
This is number 7.
Huh?
Number 7.
Number 7 down there.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's okay. You can demolish that one.
Okay.
I don't have any problem with that.
Oke. Jadi catat ya. Jadi yang 7 tuh oke.
I have. There's another one here. This building, where the pillars were damaged.
Yes.
That you can demolish as well.
Okay.
It's not
Okay.
For me, that's my point of view, not technically. But when I see it, this is more damage than that one.
Visual.
Yes. Yeah.
Visual.
Visual appearance.
But brother, why don't let us check again, recheck the size of the building and the areas needed for that building, and we can decide where the building should be demolished and what building will stay. Okay?
But we need to have, before we finalize the project, we
Oh,
need
okay.
to have a list. Which building will be demolished? We have seen it now, we have the information. We need to know which building you will demolish and which building will remain.
Okay.
So for example, and we also need to know which area that you are going to construct for the new buildings. Because one of the appraisal mission is to ascertain the sites that will be constructed by that will construct the new buildings. We want to see the site. And for the reason that we want to see the site is that we want to make sure that this land is suitable, can accommodate the new building. At the same time also there is no flood, no problem, technically it will be okay. That's our objectives, to make sure that everything is important. So now we would like to know where we will construct the new buildings.
Let's start with this integrated.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay.
They said it's okay. Technically. Okay, this one, give us a proposal where else it can be placed, which is also suitable near the area you want to be placed.
Here you say I want to construct an auditorium.
Auditorium is there.
Number 6.
Number 6 here,
Yes.
that building,
Yes.
that old building,
Yes.
all this will be demolished. Okay. What about here what you going to construct? The integrated land.
Integrated there.
This one is damaged.
Bisa.
Pillars.
Pillars.
Di belakang itu. Di belakang.
Hah?
This is the one.
This one will not be demolished.
Okay.
Okay.
So where will you construct the integrated land?
The technical land is number 5.
This one.
Number 5.
It's okay.
Number 5, which one is it?
Here.
This side.
This one.
that you said.
The
structure them with the pillar.
that is the question of brother.
Because
The
which
consultant
one
said that.
you will not demolish?
Yes.
What does the consultant say about this?
The construction is okay.
He said this is okay.
Yes.
So means this one does not need to be demolished.
Okay. But
I can see the same thing, but his opinion is more important. The construction who checked the structure said it should not be demolished. It cannot be. It can be kept.
you mean our Director General of Education?
No, the people who came and assessed the situation.
But they say that technically it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
No, they were from
From
UNDP, ITP,
NGO organization from and also from USID from ITB
IDP.
Yes, Institute Technology of Bandung.
Team from the INP they use some people from Institute of Technology Bandung check all the buildings and they recommended
The structure of some buildings.
This is the one we want to replace. One of the buildings they recommend is this one. Structurally it's okay.
Yes.
Is this true?
Yeah, true.
So you were planning at the beginning to make an integrated lab.
Yes.
Now we would like to switch the integrated lab into somewhere else.
Okay. Command Sabah.
In Indonesia, we don't pay for demolition. We bid it.
So who's gonna, when you demolish, of course, it costs money.
No.
They don't propose the demolition cost.
The material.
Usually, some contractor or some business bid the demolition, and they take the material. So
Yeah.
unfortunately,
So the benefit from the material.
they get pay for the material.
Yeah.
So what's your decision? We don't want to impose our decision, our proposals. You know more than us. You know the university, you know the demand, you know everything. For me, it doesn't make sense if you say I'm building four floors building.
If you don't mind.
For me, it does make sense.
Okay.
Makes sense. You say I will construct it 4-floor building, and instead of one floor.
Yes.
This does make sense because it increases the capacity.
How about at the back side?
The new press. In the back of the IT center. Cari Pak.
IT center.
Dia di belakang tu lah. Itu IT center. This one. And now it's the parking lot right now.
Parking lot.
Yes.
So that parking lot, where are you gonna use parking when you destroy that parking?
We arrange this for can be rearranged.
Yeah. But it's easy to do that because it's parking lot now. So we thinking about parking lot later, if it's possible. But we can find the place there at the back of the IT center.
Okay. Now you're going to construct the auditorium with BNF because the laboratory will need parking. Many people will come into. It's not like a classroom, you know.
Yes.
People will come into, they will stay, they will use the facility. So will it be able to accommodate all these things? How many square meters is this land?
We are thinking about new policy about managing cars and bicycle come into the campus. Maybe we have to restrict the numbers of car and bicycle. I think in ITB they not allowed or cars come into the campus. But we will, it's a small campus. We can corridor juga, Pak.
Canopy.
We can build canopy between one campus to another campus. So the student can, yes.
Pedestrian kan.
Because if we allow car and bicycle into the campus, we have more than maybe 35,000 students. How wide the parking lot be bigger will not enough anymore.
What about your engineers? What do they think about the building?
Engineer, please.
Udah
Technical opinion.
tahan aja kalau gitu demolish gitu.
Ya, ada Pak.
Secara ini teknis demolish saja. Iya. Bertahan saja. Coba bu.
Ya, bilang lah. Bilang aja nih.
Okay, brother Blanford, this building, if we see from the structure, actually, there was damage on the structure that we see on the side we did before, the columns in the bottom of the column, at the top of the columns, supporting the connection between the column and the beams is actually damaged. The connection between the steel, the steel actually not good actually. That's why we think because of the location of the area that we need to build a new integrated laboratory, we don't have another area, and that's why our team decide that this building we propose to be demolished because of two reasons. The first, the area, we don't have enough area to build the integrated laboratory, and the second, the condition of the structure of this building.
The building is not it's 50 years old building, right? And my point is when I see visually the building, there is some crack on the columns. I assume that there is many damage in the structure. So when the earthquake will happen again, this building I think cannot be resist to the earthquake. So I think it's better to demolish. This is my opinion, my personal opinion.
That's your expert opinion.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay,
Because in Jogja, there is a 50 years old building, the same thing, like the earthquake struck the Jogja, then will collapse. Okay. Because I think at that time there is they calculate not included the earthquake resistant design at that time.
We demolish.
Thank you very much. Alhamdulillah.
You win, I lose. no, I really appreciate they are more technical than me.
Because we don't.
Yes.
We are.
Neither me. I'm an electronic electrical engineer. So if this, our consultant and the guy who consulted, they are all supporting this, inshallah we'll go ahead.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Brother, we win.
All of us win.
Okay.
So this is the most damaged building. What about the rest of it? The rest of them? You also
No. This is only one. The others are not there. It's clear. I cannot see
Okay. Thank you.
I think there is no. Is there any other one in the consultant saying it's okay?
No.
This is the one.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
I can see some analysis here in the feasibility study regarding operation and maintenance costs, but we'd like to elaborate on this, please.
To me, or as far as I understand about sustainability, it's not only the matter of money, but some or maybe most important thing is the mental of the owners. Of course we need money, important. You can see how we, for decades, use the old buildings and we can maintain it very well. It's the old building and now we are going to have new building. I think our motivation to maintain the building will be bigger also. That's why I think that feelings, as long as I am director here, so motivation to lecture to students to maintain that we have is very important. Of course we have money, of course we need money. And as long as we can maintain the number of students, maybe not too much, not too many, we can maintain this university. I met with students to turn off the light when we finish use a classroom. It's the kind of maintenance that can be done by students. It's the simple example. So every person here has jobs to do the maintenance aspect that to me has so many aspects to maintain a university, include the building.
We want to share the sustainability plan. For example, let me say to you, the construction of a new integrated laboratory, the one we just agreed on now, maybe this will open opportunities. It will be constructed and equipped with up to a state-of-the-art equipment. Maybe this will open an idea of opening new programs.
It's good design or not. If we have high capacity, for instance, to research, or to train other people by getting to be professionals, or we have building that we can we can rent to people. So in terms of money, we can get it. So of course I told you that the money is important, so we can use it to maintain the new building.
So what mechanism do you use to maintain the buildings? How much money you spend, for example, on maintenance every year?
I do not know actually the percentage, but our government always give us every year fundings for maintenance. Tahun ini berapa untuk maintenance? Now for 2010 we have 5 million. And of course with our own money, that money that we are gathered from students or from society, we also part of it for maintenance the facilities of this institution.
Actually, we always plan to maintain cost every year. We have two resources from of the budget. First from government, and the second is from our own money. And from government this year is about 3 million.
This year?
3 million. And from university is about 7.6, right? So we prepare 7.6.
Idea?
Yeah, million.
Million or billion?
Billion rupiah.
Rupiah.
Not US dollar.
It's about 700,000.
Yes.
US dollars.
Yes.
All building here, including in Bukit Tinggi, so all building.
So how much money of this amount, 7.6 billion, go to maintenance?
The maintenance including the cleaning services.
This 7.6 billion is all for maintenance?
Yeah. They have maybe for door,
7.6
Yeah,
billion,
yeah,
600,000 US dollars.
Yeah.
You spend on maintenance every year?
Billion dollars, not million.
No, when you
Not
convert this,
rupiah.
when you convert this 7.6 billion, it will come around 600,000 US dollars.
6,000. Very small.
600,000 US dollars.
Nearly 1 million.
Nearly 1 million US dollars.
Yeah.
You spend on maintenance.
Yeah, budget every year is about 276 this year, 276 billion rupiah.
For the income of the university.
Yes.
Yeah, all from APBN, from the government.
How much you say? 200?
276
276,000
billion.
Billion.
Yeah.
Net profit?
25.
The income.
The income.
The income.
Net.
Yeah, 60% from the government.
No, gross.
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 50%, yeah. 50% from government and 50% we income.
So this 50% comes from?
50% from the government.
But you said the government gave us 3 billion.
No, just for
For
maintenance only.
So 50% of this is from the government.
Yeah. And the rest of them, we pay.
And the rest of it, where it comes from?
From,
What kind of resources?
Yeah.
NBP.
Resources comes from
NBP.
the school fee,
University revenue.
tuition fee, everything.
Yeah, this is a profit. They carry from this.
Padang,
The University of Padang.
and State University of Medan. Medan.
I have pictures of some buildings they have taken. They brought it in the report. For example, this, the other one, including damages associated. Maybe in this one, not the previous status. As we have seen it now, the cracks maybe we can see on this one, for example, we can give a picture say this may be unintegrated.
Indonesian university will look at only from the point of view of higher education. Using graduates. But now this university can be looked at another dimension, which is the teacher education. We are supporting higher education at the same time also we are supporting teacher education, which is another.
We only listen, no question. So whatever Brother Abdi and Brother Farooq telling, we just listen. Is that true? I know it's like that. Just the team and I, director and all from VAT, just listen to everything that Brother Abdi and Farooq telling us. So please, whoever the first, it's up to you.
Director, first of all, I would like to thank you, particularly the time and the efforts that you invested us during our presence in Padang. Your warm hospitality, welcome, organizations, we really appreciate, and we thank you for that. And also, we'd like to thank you for your patience, tolerance, and even the time that you have taken us. Rector, I know they're very busy with so many other commitments, policy, strategy, and decision-making process, other decision-making matters. You stayed with us the whole discussions. That shows your commitment and your dedications. So we thank you for that. I would also, second, I would like to thank your hard-working team. They really did a good job. We are very happy with the outcome of the discussions and the meeting. They did work with us during the whole 2 days. They were sitting, and of course, we have also taken their weekends. And we are serving, the university to achieve its aspirations and goals. So all of us were in the same boat, and we thank you for that. I would like to just brief you the process after this outcome of this appraisal mission to Padang. We go back to Jakarta. Today we will be traveling to Jakarta, and after today, tomorrow we will travel to Surabaya, where we are also appraising another project. We will stay there for 2 days and then come back to Jakarta, where we will share and discuss the outcome of the 2 visits, Padang and Surabaya, with the government of Indonesia, the line ministries, as well as the Papinas. We will discuss. If everything goes well, we will sign what we call memorandum of minutes of meetings. It's not a commitment, it's a kind of understanding between IDB and the government of Indonesia that IDB might finance the 2 projects if everything we agree, the terms and conditions, project components and objectives. After we go back to Jeddah, we will of course prepare what we call an appraisal, staff appraisal report, or a project appraisal document. That project appraisal document, an RFP, will be presented to IDB management. They will look at it. Once they look at it, if everything goes well, if they are happy with the outcome of the mission, the document will go to IDB board. IDB has a board of directors, which Indonesia is a permanent member. So inshallah, it will go to that board. The board, if they are happy and everything goes well, they will try to approve the document. But there are so many layers and management process that the document will go through. After that, we will inform you the outcome of that. But one thing I would like to share with you, Mr. Rector and your team and the Vice Rectors, is that try to make sure that you establish very good, effective and efficient BMU. What makes your project successful is the BMU that you set up. If you have a strong BMU, the project will be successful. Because everything, if you try to do it on time and rightly I mean based on IDP procurement procedures and the government procedures, and they are aware of all this and send the document on time, we will respond to them on time. So the project will not be delayed. So think about this, having BMU in mind all the time to sort out a nice BMU. Of course, there will be a startup workshop, they will be trained, and we will provide IDB procedures and guidelines, disbursements, all these procurement-related issues when the project is approved and the finance agreement is signed. But you need to set up a very strong BMU that can implement the project without any problems. And we hope this project will be one of the successful projects if IDB approves, inshallah. Thank you very much, and we appreciate your assistance and collaborations.
Yes, I would like, please, thank you very much. I would like to express my great thanks and gratitude for your nice and very good hosting, and also for your invitations you arranged for us and giving your time, although you are busy with us, following up step by step. Many thanks also to the technical team for their well preparation for the implementation schedule and for other supporting documents related to the project. Work very hard. I'm sure that they work and they're still working very hard. I would like to say something also which inshallah will contribute to the the success of this project. My colleague Abdi already emphasized on PMU. It is really important for the technical team to be following up very well this project. And really the success of this project is starting up from this PMU. The PMU has to make sure, and I will repeat this 2-3 times, one of the main things we have to take reference of after inshallah the project will be approved, project document as well as implementation schedule. If you put this implementation schedule in mind and try to base your progress based on this, not to keep it as some tentative schedule and some delays are involved, but if we make this as a strict reference and try to figure out the milestones, like a timetable. If you have a timetable of the student lectures, you will not delay a lecture. So you are a technical people and you know how is commitment to timetable. So we need a commitment to this implementation schedule so that we make sure that everything in line, because this will ensure that the project progress will go smoothly and reach the deliverables and reach the intended objective. So please pay very good attention, report continuously about IDB, about the progress on the project in terms of presenting Microsoft Professional Office for project professional have very good tools for triggering the progress in these activities, and try to report before these have any problems, any delays, so that you can find alternatives to try to make sure that everything is going into place so that we can ensure inshallah the implementation will go very smoothly. Inshallah, if we are alive, we will pay another visit after a number of years to see the new constructed building. From now, I'm putting in mind that there is an integrated laboratory which is going to be here. So I will expect, inshallah, I will see it functioning with the students and with laboratory. I also emphasize on the equipment. The laboratories must be designed well to store the equipments at certain temperature. Should give this attention. And I wish, inshallah, the project will go smoothly and everybody will be happy. And let me also clear and emphasize on the part of the development program, which will be, inshallah, through the government of Indonesia responsible for implementing. Give this attention because you are qualifying and upgrading the skills of the staff. Please give it attention and do whatever which can promote and upgrade their skills. Thank you very much, and we hope, inshallah, we'll see you at the nearest time, inshallah. Thank you.
At last we come to the end of this event. Today is a short time, but today's together with you feel very special. We can learn many things from you. This team, I think, have written and keep in mind your suggestion, and we are going to change the proposal according to your ideas. Besides, in 2 days, many things can happen. Bad thing, good thing. So for the bad thing, I want to apologize to you on behalf of our university. Of course, we do not mean it, but it's only because of the lack of us. So we ask you apologize for this time, and we hope the bad thing leave it here in West Sumatra, but the good thing bring it to Jeddah, so you can remember us here in West Sumatra. Who knows that in short time we can meet together, and inshallah this project come to reality. In Jakarta, I told you before appraisal of this project. And you can imagine how happy they are. And from the eyes, I can see the hope to have good canvas from IDB help. So for us here, for all community of State University of Padang, this project is very, very valuable. And inshallah, with your help, we hope that it can become a real project. And maybe it's time for us to say goodbye. And may Allah bless we all. And I hope Brother Abdi and Brother Farouk return safely to Jeddah, safely. And also Pak Haryadi return to Jakarta and received by your happy family. Thank you very much. Okay, so maybe it's formally the discussion